Hello friends, I'm Dr. Schultz and I'm really excited today. I'm here at the American Botanical Pharmacy in the actual pharmacy store where I'm going to go out and meet customers all afternoon. Now, one of the things I love to hear is successes. It's people that have healed themselves using my natural healing programs and herbal medicine. But I also like to hear all those questions that they come up with. People have great questions. They'll have hundreds of them. And they're the same questions you, your friends, your loved ones, your relatives have at home. So listen to this DVD. You're going to hear the same questions that you have asked, and you're going to get to hear my answers. So thanks for letting me into your living room, and let's get going. I'm Dr. Schultz.
I'm Allie.
Allie, nice to meet you.
I'm kind of new here.
Good, you're a new customer.
I'm about a month old.
Great. A lot of people watching this are getting the DVD and haven't done any of the programs, so they're starting.
Well, they're in my boat.
Absolutely.
I've heard about you for years.
I hope it was all good.
It was all good, but kind of scary because they're my friends who are like really clean.
Yeah.
And I'm not so.
Yeah.
I love fresh food and fruit and everything, but I've just I've not been. I think I'm afraid of the fact that my whole life I have been severely constipated.
Yes.
My mom was.
Yeah.
She died of colon cancer.
Yeah.
We've never had cancer in our family.
Yeah.
So that freaked me out.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I decided to say, okay, I'm coming to, I'm really
good. And
gonna
I talk about the bowel a lot, so
I was
a natural.
I gathered. And I just went to a chiropractor, and he just said, you have to take intestinal 1.
Great.
So I walked in.
Start doing your bowel cleanse.
And I started taking superfood. So that's the two things I've been doing for a month.
Great.
And the
for 30 days you've been doing the superfood, and you've been doing the intestinal formula number 1.
That's right.
Great.
And it's been freaky.
Great. And again, how often did your bowel work before?
Sometimes.
Yeah. You didn't break a record.
I would go 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that's a record, but it's right.
No. In fact, have you read my book yet?
Yeah, I started
colon?
to. Yes.
Yeah, I have the record breakers in there.
I read one of the little pamphlet book, and then I'm starting the.
I have many people that only went once a month that came to see me in my practice.
That makes me feel better.
I have another woman that only went 3 times during her whole pregnancy, once a trimester, once every 3 months, and the big record breaker was a person that only went twice a year. So I know it's. Did
they eat?
Yeah, they did, and it's amazing. It's always a miracle to me. Where does this stuff go? But it does build up in your body. And
I once had a high colonic, and the guy said it was like putting a fire hose against a brick wall.
Yeah.
Nothing came out.
Nothing came out. So you started the intestinal formula number 1.
I did.
You started with 1 capsule.
Started with 1, and then and your sales lady said sometimes you can go to 14.
Sure.
So I thought I'd be
the
a 14.
record is 48 or 49 capsules.
Well, after
before
2,
the brick wall started crumbling down.
After 2, the floodgates opened.
Oh, isn't that awesome?
I mean,
the beginning
this is
of your
embarrassing. I won't say this on the TV.
It was it's okay. Only a million people will see this DVD.
Gigantic. What came out of me?
Yeah.
Just gigantic.
What? Like what? Tell me. I love descriptions.
What is this? 2 feet? I don't know.
Yeah, 2 feet, 2.5 feet.
And,
wow. And big around?
Yes.
Isn't it amazing?
And green.
And green.
It was scary, but it felt so amazing.
To get rid of it. And what that was is the
I can't believe I'm talking about it.
Hey, get her face. Get her face.
I'm going to turn
I'm gonna hog tie her around here. This is awesome because this is what we talk about. It's an encasement in your intestines. Your intestines become like a rusty old pipe. If you pull a pipe out of your house that's been in there for 50 years, a steel pipe, you can barely get a toothpick through it. It's all encased with rust and muck, and this is what happens to the tubes in your bowel, your colon.
And that's just years of
old, you know, the fudgesicles you ate when you were 14. I mean, years of old stuff that builds in there to where you have a very small hole, and eventually you can't even go to the bathroom like you were going it could be a couple times only a month, right?
And sometimes it would come out, which is probably what you're saying,
very
like a little
small.
skinny corkscrew.
That's right. And now what you did is you cleaned out a lot of that debris. And secondly, what you're doing now is you're training that muscle inside your bowel. It's like going to the gym and doing an isolated bicep curl. You strengthen that muscle. By using the formula number 1, you're strengthening the colon, and your bowel's going to start working better and better and better on its own. Now, you've been doing the #1 for 30 days?
Yes.
And do you do it regularly?
I do.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And
I went to 2, and I have to go back to 1 because
Yeah.
2 actually made it happen too much.
Oh,
I mean, I started getting
that's
diarrhea.
Great. Oh, isn't that great?
So I'm just taking 1 and
Yeah.
doing superfood.
Oh, that's terrific.
And I'm going, 1 to 3 times a day,
Oh.
which is, I know, but
Okay, that's
will it last?
That's hug time again. I'm sorry, but I'm not a virgin sex counselor. I know what it feels like to only go to the bathroom once a week or once every 2 weeks, and then when you try and you're sitting on the toilet, you're pooping out these horrible small granite balls or whatever, you had granite worms, that are coming out, and you're just never feeling like you're getting the waste out of your body. Now you have done the first step for really a new life, getting that bowel cleaned out, getting all that accumulated poison out of your body. Now you can really start to feel what it's going to feel like to be healthy. So good job.
Thank you.
Okay, now I know you have 50 questions.
Well, the first question is, should I, because that's what I came in to ask today,
Yes.
should I go into intestinal 2?
Yes,
Or
you
is it too
haven't done
soon?
intestinal 2 yet.
I have not.
Okay, and how often are you having a bowel movement now with your intestinal formula #1?
Well, at least once a day in the morning after the superfood is usually
Yeah.
when it happens.
Yeah, for you, fine. The key.
Sometimes more.
One of the
Sometimes
things you
3
probably
times.
read that I cautioned you about is that some people who have very bad bowel habits that only go once every 2 weeks, like you could go into the #2 too quickly. And the #2 formula can actually slow you down a little bit. But now that you've been on the formula #1 for a month, you're having a bowel movement every day, maybe even more than 1 bowel movement a day, you're fine to go on the formula #2. But
What does it do?
Okay, formula #2 is going to go into the nooks and crannies now and start vacuuming out the real old stuff. Your bowel is an interesting organ. It's not just a solid, straight tube with a shiny wall. It's a muscle. It looks like this. And according to Merck's manual, which is considered the diagnostic book of disease in America, even in the world, they say that 100% of Americans, if they live long enough, have diverticulosis, which are saccular herniations inside your colon. So imagine that you put pressure inside a balloon or a car tire too much and you get a bubble in the rubber. This is what happens from years of serious constipation like you have. It would probably be safe to say that you have herniations in your bowel from all that impaction. So you get these like mushroom-shaped herniations in your bowel, and they fill with fecal
what a
matter.
hernia is again. Is that a
It's
sore?
a hernia is like where a muscle stretches and gives way. So you have what we could call it little balloons on your colon. In fact, if you were to have a colonoscopy, any doctor would say, you have some diverticulosis. What this formula will do is it's going to hug to your bowel. It goes in and hugs to it and starts drawing off. The bentonite clay in the formula will pull out 40 times its weight and waste. If you were to put it on your face, it would feel like you were sucking your brains out through your face. It actually is a vacuum. That's one of the things it does. The charcoal just absorbs poisons, 3,000 known poisons, so that old fecal matter definitely has poisons in it from the things that you ate years ago that's still in there. And the fruit pectin in the formula pull out heavy metals. A lot of heavy metals lodge in people's bowels because there's, 30-40% of the fish we eat has toxic amounts of mercury in it, which is a heavy metal. There's no shortage of heavy metals in our environment. So now this formula #2 is going to go in, seal itself to the inside of your bowel, and actually draw, suck, pull off old poisons, heavy metals, toxic chemicals, and more fecal matter that's still stuck in the nooks and crannies. So it's a real wow, too. When you start using it, you're going to love it, because if you liked it when you first looked down after a few days and saw the 2.5-foot long, huge anaconda, you're going to really love what you see when you use the formula #2. Most people don't get what you got, which is a large piece of old fecal matter coming out, until they start to do the formula #2 and do it multiple times. So you're a real winner. You won the lottery. You got quick, easy, great results.